السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، ونصلي ونسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبعد. We are going to talk today. We finished talking about the levels of Iman, Iman al-Mujmal, the comprehensive Iman, Iman al-Wajib, the obligatory Iman, and Iman al-Kamil, the complete or perfect Iman. And we also talked about some of the problems that led some people astray from the understanding of Sunnah, which is a mix between practical kufr and and kufr by action. They thought it's the same, and this is where the Murji'ah mixed up their Iman concept. Now, if you remember what we talked about in Iman Qawl wa Amal, specifically, we mentioned that the Iman Qawl al-Qalb, the saying of the heart, and the action of the heart, and then Amal is the saying of the tongue, and action of the tongue, action of the heart, action of the tongue, and action of the limbs. So these parts, when we take the part of the heart, which is qawl al-qalb and amal al-qalb, the saying of the heart and the action of the heart. We're not talking now about the tongue and the limbs, which are the visible action. We're talking about the saying and the action of the heart. Many people see this as the center of Iman and Islam when we talked about that. And they say that if this is complete and it exists, then everything is okay, and actions with tongue and limbs. Some people said even tongue, we don't have to say La ilaha, which is the Jahmiyyah, and some said we don't have to do any action, like Murji'ah, and so is the differences between the sects. It all come in this area, and whatever concerns the heart itself. So the concept of Ahl Sunnah in whatever related or pertinent to the heart, the saying and the action of the heart, is what we are going to explain and talk about in order to know where we stand between these sects and what Ahl Sunnah understanding of this part of Iman. In the Arabic language, we refer it to this part as al-i'tiqad, al-aqidah, which we call al-aqidah. Aqidah, al-i'tiqad. It's from aqidah or i'tiqad. Al-i'tiqad is the thing that we believe in the heart, the belief of the heart. The word in English, believe, is closest to aqidah or i'tiqad rather than iman, because we can see that the understanding of the word iman itself, it includes our actions. Like when you sit down and you read Quran, this is an act of iman. When you make tasbih, it's an act of iman. when you go to make jihad or you give sadaqah, it's an act of Iman. It falls under the word of Iman itself. The 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 definition of the Sharia of Iman includes all these things together under this word Iman, as we explained. But i'tiqad, the aqidah, is whatever in the heart aside from the actions of the tongue and the limbs. Whatever in the heart happens in the heart of a Muslim or mu'min, in this case, the same, uh, is related 100% to the actions, because if there is no action at all, like we explained, no action whatsoever, it means that there is nothing whatsoever in the heart. No matter what the person says, it doesn't matter his claim, because we believe Allah more that he is lying. There is nothing in his heart. If there is less of this, uh, this is what we are going to talk about. Is there a less of aqidah that can be in the heart? Yeah, there is a less of amal al-qalb uh, in terms of tawakkul, dependency on Allah, love Allah, tawakkul, mahabba, al-khawf, fear of Allah, all these meanings, which it actually originates in the heart, and it manifests itself in the actions. So if it doesn't manifest, it doesn't exist. So it manifests less, it exists less, so Iman is less. But we are not talking about these kind of actions of the heart. We are talking about the part that is قول القلب, whatever in the heart, mainly قول القلب, whatever has to be in the heart, which is the aqidah. عمل القلب is these kind of meanings, like I said, the khawf and raja and mahabba and tawakkul and all these meanings. But qawl al-qalb is what we mean by it. They say تصديقه والتزامه. The testing and affirming of the action. So if we go to the first chart, I'm going to share the screen. In fact, I'm going to find the other one. Well, let's just do this. What we can see here, that here this is Iman up here, al Iman. What the Iman consists of three main sections. The third one is divided into two parts. The first section of Iman is Ma'rifah, knowledge, to know. because nobody can believe in something that he doesn't know. It's a logical and very well known fact that if you don't know something, how can you believe in it? You can't believe in it. So uh, that's number one, معرفة. Of course, Al-Jahmiyyah said, some of the Jahmiyyah said, it is this number one here. You see this circle? It consists of number one, knowledge, number two, attesting, number 3A and 3B. 3A is the affirming and acceptance by heart. Number B is affirming and acceptance by action. This is what Iman is all about. If we look at number one, knowledge, we find that it is one of three components that Ahl Sunnah consider. Number one and two and 3A is Aqidah, is what it is the saying of the heart. This is what Aqidah is: to know, to attest, and to affirm and accept by heart. You say, yes, I believe every thing that Rasulullah came with, and I affirm that I will carry it out as soon as I have a knowledge of it. As soon as I know that, like I didn't know how to pray, now I know how to pray. I like in the time before any Farida came to in Islam, in the first 5 years, even before Salah, the Tawheed, the Iman al-Mujmal, which is Iman al-Mujmal is 1, 2, and 3A. It was that much. This is the Aqidah. This is what actually was enough for the Muslims to be completely on Tawheed, because there was no action required at the time. So to know, knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sifatillah, the nubuwwat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the qadar, all these things that we have to know about. Al-Jahmiyyah said, as you can see in number one, Al-Jahmiyyah said, this part, some of them, they said, this part is enough. If somebody know that Allah exists and Allah sent prophet and stuff, it's enough. They didn't, some of the Jahmiyyah didn't even include number two, which is attesting. They said even attesting is not important, because they said, as long as you know, you attest. So of course this is far kufr, wal-iyadhu billah. The Ash'ari said that this part, knowing, is the first obligatory thing on Muslims. The first obligatory on the Muslim is al-ma'rifah, is the knowledge. But this is from the mutakallimun. Mutakallimun said knowledge is to know. Mutakallimun said this is the first step. Ahl Sunnah said no, actually the first step is to have the 1 and 2 and 3A. There is no first step and second step. We divided it here in order to show the component. So components are together. They are not in sequence. They are all together. If you lose any one of them, they are not there. The dangers of the saying of the Ash'ari that it is the first obligatory thing on Muslims. I mean, who in the Muslims knows that knowledge? Nobody knows knowledge. Only students, people who study the components. So Ibn Taymiyyah refused and refuted this, saying that the first obligation on a Muslim is to have the Iman al-Mujmal or Tawheed. So number two, تصديق, to attest and to attest to it means التصديق. Of course, we know تصديق. المرجئة said something about تصديق. الأحناف said something about تصديق. The rest of Ahl Sunnah said something about تصديق. So some of the Ash'ara said it is نسبة الخبر إلى المخبر, to attest to the genuinity and the facts of whatever statement we have. Say, oh, this statement is true. Like I said before, as an example, somebody said, oh, there is a fire in the street at the top of the road. Say, oh, really? Okay, that's it. I just believe that there is a fire, but there is nothing else. There is nothing on my part to do. No action. There is nothing. Just I said okay. So and this part cannot be the part that is required in تصديق of Ahl Sunnah, including Ahnaf. Ahnaf said, yes, it is to attest and affirm, but it is a special attest and affirm. Attest, not affirm. I keep saying affirm is number 3. So to attest to the truth of the whatever statement I get from Sharia, statement about a ruling or statement about just a khabar, just something about ghaib or anything of the sort. This is, we attest to it. We said, yes, this is true. Ahnaf said, this attesting is a special attesting. It's not like the Ash'ara said. They said, it is attesting, but it is a special attesting that will carry inside the motive to do the a'mal, to do the actions. It is a special attest. Some of the Ahnaf said it includes as well the pronounce with the tongue. You say, we have to say La ilaha illallah in order for that to manifest. Ahl Sunnah said this is one of the 3 mixed components. The attesting here cannot be separated than the knowledge, cannot be separated than the affirming and acceptance. Because when I know, as a Muslim, when I know something, when I hear something like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will go and walk on the sirat, or there is a hawd of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam at the day of judgment, or al-qada wal-qadar. If I hear these things, or I hear that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala obliged women to wear hijab, or any of the sort, any statement I hear about Sharia, what happens in the mind and in the heart is that I know, I attest, and I affirm that, accept that I will do it as soon as I know what is required. So before prayers was obligatory on Muslims, the first 5 years, that was enough because there is no action. After that, kicks in the obligatory Eman, because every time we know a ruling more than before, or more than somebody else, I already accepted it in the Aqidah, in 3A. So what kicks in the 3B is the acceptance and action. And you can understand now that 3B is where الإيمان يزيد وينقص. يزيد وينقص is in the 3B. In 1, 2, and 3A, you can't imagine زيادة ونقصان, because knowledge is knowledge. How can it be less? You can know less amount of knowledge, but the knowledge itself, that Allah is the creator, Allah is the Raziq, is the giver, He is the forgiving. You know that, and you attest to that. So and you accept that okay, I accept all these things. I accept all the obligatory things that I will hear in the future when I have more knowledge, when I have study, if I'm in a far away place, I can't get to the details of something. When I can, like the women of Medina, when the ayah of al-hijab, it actually was came to Rasulullah at night, at the Isha time, al-Fajr. Those women who goes to the masjid, they went like Aisha said, I didn't see any women like better than the women of Medina. The ayah of hijab, Surah An-Nur, came, and Aisha in Fajr, they all came like the black birds. They just put the abaya on all of them, because they don't know what the details, what can they show, what they can't show. They just took the general meaning of the ayah, and they just put everything there until they know what the details are. This because they had the 3A in their hearts from before, that ما كان لمؤمن ولا مؤمنة إذا قضى الله ورسوله أمرا أن يكون لهم الخيرة من أمره. الخيرة من أمره. So they had this in their heart. خلاص. As soon as it came to Rasulullah, the wahi, he carried it out without waiting for any تفاصيل. Oh no, how, and what is the color? What should I show? But I have too much clothes now that doesn't go with this. Can I wait until they become old? I didn't marry yet. Can I wait until I get married? These things didn't exist with the Sa'il Medina. It took them few hours to cut these things and put it, and that's it, done. That's what acceptance is. That's where Iman Yazid wa yanqus. These had the complete Iman, no hesitance whatsoever. Because the affirming and the acceptance that we put in 3A there is complete, is done. So that's where we see that Ahl Sunnah say, like Al-Jahmiyyah said, number one is Iman. Al-Asha'ira and Mutakallimin and Ahnaf, they said it's number 1 and 2. But Ahnaf added something. They said it is not just to attest, it's a special attest. That's why Ahnaf are with Ahl Sunnah in general because they added the A'mal, but from outside of Iman. They said it's not called Iman. So that's why we put them with number two, because they didn't include the name Iman with actions. So Ahl Sunnah is 1, 2, and 3A. This is Al-Aqidah, Al-I'tiqad, whatever. So when we hear this word I'tiqad or Aqidah, we have to understand that it's this is the mix. It's not 1, 2, 3 like it's there. It is like, oh, okay, I've completed number one. I have some iman now. No, you have none. Still zero. Oh, I have 1 and 2. No, you are still zero unless you are iman with the concept of ahnaf, that it is a special one. But 1 and 2 doesn't constitute the iman that's accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? 1, 2, and 3A. The affirmant acceptance of everything I hear. So, but what if none of 3B happened at all? Then it actually refutes all the three before. Like we said before. See, this is the good thing about the drawing, that you can relate to whatever we said before. If somebody now, after all the, I mean, Sharia is complete, and we know all the خلاص اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. So after that, after Risala is completed, we are all have to accept and attest to everything. If we leave one thing, we say, oh, accept, I have 3A for everything except hijab. We say, it's hard luck, can't be accepted. No can do. It is not the iman of Ahl Sunnah. It is not iman that's accepted by Allah. You're still in the zone of kufr. There is no negotiation about 1, 2, and 3A. No negotiation. This is al-iman al-mujmal. 1, 2, and 3A is iman mujmal. Is it tawheed that is in the heart, the part of the heart. التوحيد. It's كلمة السواء. تعالوا إلى كلمة سواء بيننا وبينكم ألا نعبد إلا الله وألا نشرك به شيئا وألا يتخذ بعضنا بعضا أربابا من دون الله. This is كلمة السواء. The common word between you guys and us. In Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the Ahl Kitab, come and let's do what is common. لا نعبد إلا الله ولا يتخذ بعضنا. You taking your أحبار and رهبان and priests and stuff آلهة. Don't do that. Let's have the common. So التوحيد, الإيمان, العقيدة, الإيمان المجمل, this is all in the heart, and it actually manifests itself in 3B, where the increase and decrease of Iman happens. So the more you do of 3B, the more you have Iman, the less you have Iman. Like we said, some Al-Qurramiyya, it's on the chart, there is a sect called Al-Qurramiyya. Al-Qurramiyya said number one, like I said before, they actually split from Al-Jahmiyya. Al-Qurramiyya, they said number one is enough. Number two, تصديق, Al-Murji'ah said, like when you talk now to Murji'ah, they said he said, oh, تصديق is enough. We said no, تصديق means, if you mean by تصديق that it is just saying that, attesting to the genuinity and the truthfulness of whoever telling you something, this is like the fire, the example of the fire. This is not enough whatsoever. The priests, many priests, like the priest in the time of Rasulullah, him and his brother, this is in Zad al-Ma'ad, Ibn al-Qayyim, a priest came from Habasha. He was going to Medina. You know, they go there for trade and stuff. Him and his brother. Uh, and his name was Abu Mahriz, I believe. Uh, so he and his brother were going on the road, and the camel of the brother of that priest like fell. He made him fell off of the back of the camel. So he said, "Ta'is al-ab'ad." Like, you know, when you curse, he cursed Rasulullah because you know how if you hate somebody, you curse him for whatever bad thing happened to you. So his brother, right away, he said, "Bal ta'ista an." You are the cursed one. Don't say that about him. He said, "Why, my brother, you saying that?" He said, "Because wallahi, he is truthful in what he is saying. Whatever he brought, he's truthful." He said, "Okay, why are we not following him then?" He said, "Can't you see what those people back in the church in Habasha, they gave us all this money and, you know, the status and everything we have. We can't leave all that and just follow him." But he is truth. So the brother kept this in his heart until they went to Medina and he became one of the Sahaba and he followed Rasulullah. So he was actually the one that 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 accepted because he had good fitra. So, but the brother was the one who said, "Why you're cursed? He is truthful." Did he become a Muslim? Qayyim was, did he become a Muslim with saying that? No, he's still a kafir. Why? Because he didn't do this 3A, iltizam al-qubul, the affirm and acceptance. He didn't do it. It didn't happen in his heart. He just said he is truthful. That is as much as I get. So these kind of so this understanding of the of the whatever we are explaining now about the components of Tawheed is what we what we are what we have to get inside our mind and our heart and no, he's not his محرز, he's not his كرز بن علقمة in ابن القيم in زاد المعاد في وفد نجران. His name was كرز بن علقمة. That's why listen to what Ibn al-Qayyim says. He said, وَمَنْ تَأَمَّلَ مَا فِي السِّيَرِ وَالْأَخْبَارِ. Whoever look carefully and study into Sirah and whatever came to us from the old nation or before Islam and at the time of Islam, and whatever priests said and the mushrikeen at the time of Rasulullah, that they أنه صادق, that he is truthful, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then if you look, he said, if you look carefully, you will know that Islam is beyond that, beyond saying that he is truthful, beyond attesting. And it is not only knowledge, and it is only not only knowledge and attesting, it's knowledge and attesting and acceptance معرفة والإقرار والتزام طاعته ودينه ظاهرا وباطنا. It is knowledge, it is إقرار تصديق, and it is التزام, affirm and accept and obedience of Rasulullah's deen, Islam, ظاهرا وباطنا. This is what Islam is. There are many stories to that, actually, to confirm that in Sirah, like Herakl, Qaisar Rum. Rasulullah sallallahu said in hadith, Rawa Anas ibn Malik, قال, Rasulullah said, who takes this book, this letter from me to Qaisar, and lahu al-Jannah, he will enter paradise, because he knew Qaisar will kill him. So Rasulullah said, who accepts and go to Jannah to take this? So a man came and said, I will do it. فوافق. He went to Qaisar. So he threw the letter in front of him without showing himself. So the Qaisar looked and took the letter and said, whose letter is this? And he will say, I give him my word, he's safe. So the guy said, yes. Said, okay, if I go to my palace, come. When he came to Rasulullah, he read the letter and he said, he came to Qaisar, and he went to Qaisar, and then Qaisar closed the doors on him and the man, and he said, to some people, go, after he read the letter, he said to some people, to his people, go announce that Qaisar, Caesar's, that Tsar, has followed Muhammad. So as soon as they said that, outside his room, his military came with all their weapons and stuff like that. So he told them, tell them now that I just wanted to test you, to know if you're good or not. Then he wrote to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam a letter. He said, I am a Muslim, and he sent some money with the guy. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, كذب عدو الله. He's a liar. He's not a Muslim. He's still on his Christianity. Why? Because he didn't get into the submission to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He didn't submit. He didn't affirm and accept and submit. Ta'ah. Say, I will obey everything comes. As soon as it comes to me, I will obey it. I accept it. I will do it. There are many stories about that. The story of Safwan ibn Assar in the Sirah. He told one Jewish guy that he was a friend of him. So he said, let's go to this prophet. He said, don't say a prophet. He can hear everything. So they went to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they asked him about the 9 ayahs that came to Sayyidina Musa. He said, Rasulullah said, لا تشركوا بالله شيئا، لا تسرقوا، لا تزنوا، لا تقتلوا النفس، لا تقذفوا المحصنة، ولا تولوا يوم الزحف، وعليكم خاصة يهود ألا تعدوا في السبت. Don't make shirk, don't steal, don't make adultery, don't kill, don't accuse a woman of adultery, تقذف المحصنة, don't run away in war. And for you guys, Jews specifically, ألا تعدوا في السبت, you do not work at Sabt. So they kissed his hands and feet and said, we attest you are a prophet. He said, why don't you follow me? they said, we know that you are the prophet, because Dawood said there will be a prophet in his descendants, but we are afraid if we follow you, Yahud will kill us. So then a testing, تصديق, does not do it for them. So this is actually the the difference between the attesting, just there is a plain attesting, which doesn't do anything, and then there is a special attesting that Ahnaf said in order to get to be distinguished from the Murji'ah, because if they don't do that, then A'mal is not, the actions is not part of the Iman, and A'mal is part, not by name, is not part of Iman, because they said Iman is in heart. So they said Iman is this only in the heart. It's تصديق, but they said تصديق مخصوص. تصديق مخصوص is special attesting that includes 3A. And that in بدائع الصناعة الكساني he explained this thing in فيض الباري in فيض الباري and in فيض الباري في شرح البخاري came a mention of the fact that some actions actually it can be of the effect of kufr without even anything like in the heart, that is bad in the heart. Some actually, like we said, that actually goes to the explanation of the difference between the practical iman and the practical kufr and the kufr by action. So that was mentioned in Ahnaf, صاحب فيض الباري ابن الهمام Hanafi. So if we understand that, we understand what aqidah is and what al-i'tiqad means, and what distinguish the Murji'ah said 1 and 2 is Iman. Ahl Sunnah said 1, 2, and 3A is Iman. Al-Khawarij said 1, 2, 3, A and B, Iman. That is why Khawarij, because they included all the actions in Iman, if you leave one of them, you become a kafir. That's why they make takfir to Muslim, to those who have ma'asiyah. Because in ma'asiyah, the sin, where the sin happens in 3B, right? In increase and decrease of iman. So they said if you commit any sin or kabira, some said if you commit a major, some said even minor, will take you out of Islam. Why? Because they include in iman all these four. The mix includes the four parts: 1, 2, 3A, and 3B. That's Khawarij. Murji'ah 1 and 2. Ahl Sunnah 1, 2, and 3A, with the exception of Ahnaf. They have 2 with a special status that attaches them to 3A. So having said that, we understand this whole idea of al-aqidah, al-i'tiqad, because the word aqidah means, aqada means to tie the knot in Arabic language. That's why they say aqd qiran for marriage You say عقد القران because you tie the knot. You tie it around your neck here, so you tie the knot. But it's supposed to be. So aqidah means whatever tying the knot in the heart. You tie the knot. You have number 1, 2, 3, 8 complete. There is nothing left. You can't say, I have this 3A for everything. I will obey everything. I will make iltizam and confirm and accept everything and obey except, you say, hopes, no accept. No accept this. There's no exception. No exception. This has to be complete. Aqidah has to be complete. It cannot be split. So that's what we are saying, inshallah, for today. And I hope you can study this graph and relate it and connect it to what we said about the Iman Yazid wa Yanqus, Al-Iman Qawl wa Amal, and where everything fits in this, and the Iman al-Mujmal, wal-Wajib, wal-Kamil. Like Iman al-Wajib wal-Kamil is all in 3B. Iman al-Mujmal is 1, 2, and 3A. So you can connect all what studies before on this graph, and you can see which sect is which sect in Iman, because this is, like I said, two things. Established sects in Islam, two things only: Asma al Sifat and the definition of Iman. These two things were all the 73 sects came from under one of these two things. So this major one, which is the understanding of Islam, caused a chaos and wreaked havoc throughout the history of Islam because of the strange ideas and the wrong ideas. And the scholars of Al-Sunnah had to go in such a detail to actually explain and like separate all the components, show no, this is this and this. This was not at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This wasn't in the time of the Sahaba. There was no need for even these courses. They used to just go read Quran, so increase your iman. هلم بنا نؤمن ساعة, and they go and make tasbih or study about Islam. There is no need for all these things, components and sections and that. But because of what happened, we didn't cause it. We had to deal with it. Like the people of Hadith had to create the sanad, the chain, in order to deal with the new phenomena of liars, of having lied. At the time of Rasulullah and Sahaba or Tabi'een, there was nobody lies. If you say so, as he says, it's said. But they created the chain to deal with liars, with the phenomenon. The scholars created all these books and chains and factors and sections and stuff in order to deal with this chaos in the Islamic thought about understanding Iman and Islam and so on and so forth. And inshallah, we will continue next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.